Hey, what's the deal? This is your boy, J Mike, Mr. Athletic Over Everything. I'm here to introduce my latest project, which would be the Athletic Over Everything podcast. I decided to show you guys exactly how serious I was actually taking this by showing you all the stuff that I've actually purchased in order for me to do this podcast. And I wanted to make sure that I was able to do this correctly. And I understand that sometimes, price isn't everything, but at the same time, I wanted people to know that I'm actually taking this serious. I went out and purchased a GH5, a Panasonic GH5, for this particular endeavor. This is key. I've also had the Panasonic G7. And to be honest with you, it's not much difference in terms of video quality, so I'm curious to see how this winds up going long term. But I went that route there, right? Then wanted to make sure that everything was updated in terms of power, make sure I had enough to when I start eventually streaming on Twitch, that I had something that was powerful enough. So I went ahead and purchased a new MacBook Pro. In order to make this happen. Of course, I had to buy batteries. Now, I bought some extra batteries for the GH5. I went with the Wasabi Power brand. These are actually really, really good batteries, and I've used them in the past, and they're pretty affordable. So for the most part, this is something that will come in handy later on down the line. But also, I could already tell that I've made a mistake in going the USB route. I went with the Rode Podcaster. I looked up what was the best podcast microphone I could possibly buy. This one actually popped up. I thought it was made by Rode, so I went ahead and did it. But right now I'm hearing all of the little things. So every time I touch the table, I can actually hear it in the microphone. So I'm actually going to probably switching this out probably as soon as today, and go with the Shure mic that I believe every other podcast uses. I believe Joe Rogan uses it as well. Don't have the number offhand, but we're going to continue on with everything else that I have here. Like I said, we have the Rode Podcaster. For the most part, I'll probably do an unboxing of this just to probably get a little more comfortable doing reviews and also talking about the equipment. And also, I purchased a wireless timer remote so that I can not always have to have my iPad connected in order for me to take a picture or to start the video or whatever. I'll be able to use it via remote. I'm not 100% sure yet on how this is actually going to turn out, but you expect a review on this as well. Also went and bought the new Magic Mouse. You kind of can't go wrong with the Apple stuff, but for $79, it is what it is. I was actually with the Space Gray to go with this, but it was like an extra $20 just for extra color. So got the new cable there. Got the PSA-1 arm stand, which you see right here. This is supposed to be one of the better arm stands on the market. I went ahead and purchased it, but for the application I have, it probably is not the best, or this table isn't the best, because it's hard to actually mount it properly based on the softness of the table. So I'm probably going to have to get another podcast table, but that's just another cost of doing business, right? Also, new hard drive, 2 terabyte. Hard drive compatible with the MacBook or whatever, so I can store these episodes. I will be recording them in 4K, and I just want everything to be the best of quality so that when this stuff is presented, it has a very professional look, very crisp, and I want people to take this serious. So that's why I went the extra step with purchasing all this stuff. But also what I did was, instead of just having battery power stuff, I saw that you can actually buy like AC adapters to go into your battery. so that it'll just run off of power. I won't have to worry about the batteries running out or whatever. So I just gave myself options, but this was just the first wave. Now I'll probably wind up buying a soundboard to run this system and go with a XLR cable microphone. Just because I don't want any excuse for this not to be good. So if it's like, yo, your audio is trash or your podcast the sound is bad, I want it to be because of my error. I don't want it to be because I didn't have the right equipment. But this was just a quick little overview of some of the things that I bought. Also, I was able to land a few huge sponsors for this podcast. And as well as I'll be able to do giveaways. I will be doing, free programming for, in terms of giving away, my bench programming, even my jump programming. There's a lot of content that will be coming. I purchase a lot of different equipment. I buy a lot of different things, and I have a lot of views. So you're going to get a lot of that on this podcast. So be on the lookout for a lot of entertainment coming in 2019. Maybe even some controversial stuff, because I do have some views that I share, and a lot of people are just scared to admit some of the things that I do believe, but I will be saying it on this podcast. But as of now, everything will be held on the J Mike Fitness channel until I figure out if I want to actually do a YouTube page specifically for the podcast. So it just depends on how things go early on. Now, separate from this, I do a lot of cooking. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to integrate all that into this. But if you know me, you know that I'm probably one of the most random people you ever meet. That goes from, the sport that I played before powerlifting. I was doing table tennis. And before that, it was skateboarding and BMX. So I'm all over the place. So if you see me cooking one day on the channel, don't be startled. Don't run. You'll probably have something that'll be more to your liking in a video or two to come. But like I said, this is Jason Mike, Mr. Athletic Over Everything. The podcast is here. If you guys have any comments or questions on topics that you want me to cover or questions that you ask, I'll answer them through the podcast. Will not answer them through Instagram, DM, or anything like that. But if you have a question, subscribe to the channel, ask the question, and I'll do my best to get back to you. All right, later.